Yo, this is Neville Gallimore from the Dallas Cowboys, and I want to give a major shout out to Mike Tag. Keep bringing the hype to the Cowboys Nation. We love and appreciate it. Now, can you dig it? Let's get it.
Hey, I told you guys! Don't go Mariners just like it! All I've heard for the last 5 weeks is we want Dallas! So all you haters, you come down to me! You fuel the fire! Because I want it! Are you gonna say, hey, you dig it?
What is up? It's your boy Mike Tag and Jimmy D. We're on a special night. We've had some illnesses and some other things. Before I get started, I know it's a little late, but I got to drop it anyway.
And the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys?
So, hope everyone, this is probably the last one. We'll be the final to wish you guys hopefully had a Merry Christmas, getting ready for the New Year's. But, Jimmy and I will get into it. But like I said, for me, went to the Eagles-Cowboys game, Christmas Eve. Great time. We'll touch on it. But when I got home, sick as a dog. So I've been in bed since Christmas and was in bed right before the show. But figured, hey, man, the show's got to go on. So if you see me muting, you see me not talking, there's probably a real good reason for it. So we'll get in it, but it's a special night. Of course, not our normal Monday nights. Yeah. So we'll make it happen. But Jimmy D, how's your Christmas? How's everything going, brother?
No, it was great. As everybody knows, we're usually your lead into Monday Night Football, but tonight's Tuesday, so just roll with us tonight. No, it was a great time. Christmas was fun. As everybody knows, a few weeks ago, I was out in Vegas on work trip and some family stuff. Good old-fashioned family Christmas. My liver needs a break. But New Year's Eve coming up, it ain't going to get a break. But you know what? It's all good. You know what? You got to take your vitamins and say your prayers and feel better.
I got to get better. I'm leaving to go to Blue Ridge on Thursday, 5:00 in the morning, heading up there. So I saw the injury report came out, and there was one person missing from the injury report, Jimmy. I don't know if you noticed it. We had all our guys on there. Now you got Pollard, got a thigh injury, Parsons, but they didn't have Mike Tag on the injury report because right now I'm questionable if I'm even going to be able to do a hype video because I feel like, you know what, and I'm hoping to get better. I'm getting the vitamins. I'm trying to do everything and trying to get some rest and then hopefully be back. Pigeons are 0-2 and playing a team for the second time. Jimmy Johnson was right. Washington and Dallas.
He was right.
He was. We talked about it on the show. Love the energy and luck you bring the boys. Feel better, man. I appreciate it. And also, see, now I'm going to get excited. You guys might help cure me. But I told anyone who would listen, these eyes have never walked out of AT&T or any stadium. Go back to Texas Stadium. Disappointed. Never left disappointed when we play the Eagles. So now my record, I believe, is 6-0 in all the games I've been to against the Eagles. So I had no doubt we were going to win. It was a fun time just hanging with Cowboy. Now, funny story, I met a few people.
Yeah.
And just the funniest story was, so we went to Texas Live. You were there. We've been to Texas Live.
Yeah.
We got there to watch the 1:00 game, did the whole play, the tag, and you got to get in and pay your $10. But it was so cold. It was so cold that we couldn't tailgate. It was just too cold. So sitting there at the table, and so I had my family there as a first. Now my family's 2-0 too. We can't count the Jaguar game because my daughter was missing. But when the full four of us go to the game together, we're undefeated. So we'll ride that. We'll ride that streak too. But so we're sitting at a table, and there was people coming in, and I wanted to get a picture of the four of us together. And so I said, they're like, oh, who's going to take the picture? I said, here, man, I'll just ask the people that are coming in. So I go to ask him. I say, hey, man, you mind taking this picture? And the guy looks, and his face drops. He goes, hey, man, you're Mike Tag. He's like, hey, you got to take a picture with me. It was funny. It was cool. But the experience I get with the fans and recognizing me for whatever reason. I mean, I do my videos, but my kids get the biggest kick out of it. They think they're walking with a celebrity. So it's definitely cool. And I ran into a few different people at the game. I always get mad that I don't have all their names. The only one I do know is I believe it was PJ, but I don't have all the other names. But it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. His last game probably at the season, unless something really crazy happens. It'll be the last game of the season, at AT&T. Cowboys are gonna have to win a lot on the road, right? 2 road games, the last 2 games of the
Yeah.
season, and then unless something really crazy happens with Philly, all roads are gonna be needing to they're gonna go through Philly, and we're gonna need to win on the road.
Walk around with a celebrity, walk around with a big shot, and there's nothing better. We're sitting there. I was with some family, and they're like, and the funny part is they're like, "Damn, man, Mike Tagg's gonna be pissed off." They're watching the game, watching it play out, and I started laughing because there's nothing better than Philadelphia fans crying and their teams lose, and I love it. But it's kind of like a cat and a mouse, and the cat swats the mouse this way a little bit, and then swats it back that way, and swatches their ass. Like you said, he killed their dreams, and it was nothing better than that. And I loved it.
There is nothing better. What's up? What's up in the chat room's on fire. I appreciate it. I'm glad to see we got some people jumping in, even though we're not at our normal day. But the game, our first drive, obviously, in the pick six, it was like, oh my God, what's gonna happen? This is the worst case scenario.
Right.
And then, Dak played a phenomenal game. He was on point. CeeDee Lamb, I kind of put it in there. CeeDee Lamb is just on another level. You got Justin Jefferson who's lighting it up, but man, CeeDee Lamb ain't far behind the way he's been playing the last 8 games of the year, since Dak's return.
Yeah.
He is really, really coming on. And Gallup, I know we saw Jose with Gallup. Merry Christmas, Jose, too. Gallup, he's starting to, he had a beautiful catch. Things are starting to happen. Defense, still a little concerned. Secondary, I thought Wright played well. Bland's playing good. But there's still, we've got 2 weeks to figure that out. That's the beauty of kind of, where we're at and where we put ourselves. Is you kind of put yourself in a position where you can figure things out these last couple of games. We want to win. Don't get me wrong. We want to win because there's still a shot that you can win the division. It's slim chance, but there's still a shot for us to do that. And, so we'll see what happens.
Let's be honest. How it is. I'm not emotionally involved, so I'm going to be honest with you. That interception, that was a hell of a play, right? I don't think that was just a bad pass. That was just a hell of a defensive play. They took it back. And you know what? From there, moving forward, Dak was spot on the rest of the game. So there was nothing to worry about there.
No, they're absolutely. And the other thing you saw is a running game. Struggled, right? Pollard struggled, but Zeke ran the ball well. And I think that's where I get all these people is like, oh yeah, Pollard. Da, da, da. You need 2 good running backs because if one is, not getting it going, you've got the other. They've got a great 1-2 punch. I don't think there's a better running back combination in the NFL right now than these two. They complement each other. They work well in the offense. Both of them are good out of the backfield. They can catch the ball to make things happen. Zeke, obviously, his pass protection is on point. Pollard, that's not a strength of his. But, they're just awesome. But I wanted to say, I don't know what your thoughts. And when you're at the game, it's really hard. You go to a lot of games, too. When you're at the game, it's really hard to digest everything because everything happens so fast. You don't have the replay and the commentators, but that play with Dak and T.Y. Hilton on 3rd and 30. And of course, it was on Slay, and Slay was a little butthurt, and maybe there was a coverage thing. I don't remember them using those excuses with Diggs last year, so I don't want to hear none of that garbage. But anyway, 3rd and 30. You don't want to game on the line. I know there was some time left. Game on the line, really. Where they were at the game and where the feeling I had in the stadium and the feeling I had being there. Game on the line. Dak threw a phenomenal pass, but T.Y. Hilton, I told people, he earned his money. I don't care if he catches another ball. He earned his money on this team on that play alone.
Yeah, no, that was a sick play. And you'd see his Twitter post, some about, is this what it's like? Or whatever he said, some of that effect. Now, that was a great catch. And you know what? I'm telling you, I would take him, and I said this 2 weeks ago, I would take him over Odell Beckham. I think it's great for you. I think it's a better situation for you guys.
No, and especially being that he's healthy and Odell, I think a lot of his stuff is smoke screen trying to get the contract, but he wouldn't do the medical tests and things like that. So, it is what it is, but it definitely worked out well. And again, we got a 40 burger on Philly. And I always like to remind Philly fans sometimes is the defense was healthy. That was the same defense you all had. So we dropped 40 on them. So I don't hear no excuses. Just like There was no, they didn't want to hear excuses when we played the first
No.
time. We had our backup. I had to hit a chip shot off Frankenstein's foot. You play it as it lies, right? Isn't that what they say?
Yes.
So we make no, and hey, hopefully we'll meet again. If we meet again, that means Dallas is doing what they need to in the playoffs, and I welcome that challenge one more time.
You got to reject the challenge because Eagles are no challenge. You got to beat up on them some more. But hey, let's talk about what's coming up. So you have you had and you know what? Now I gotta. Unfortunately, my Falcons are out.
They're
I gotta
out.
concede. So there is a chance you have two teams in play that you are reserved about facing. You got Tampa Bay
Yep.
with Brady, and then Green Bay and Rodgers. So because they're on the bubble, but still.
They're
on the
playing.
bubble.
I was going to talk about that. Green Bay is. I mean, they went down to Miami, and we can get into it later, but that was a big win. I didn't even realize they've won 3 in a row, all in December. Yeah. And what did we talk about early in the year? It's about how you're playing at the end. You get a Green Bay team in there that gets on a roll. Let's say they go to Minnesota and win. They go to Detroit and win. They'd be 5 in a row. That's probably a team you're not jumping up and down to play for.
No.
Play against, excuse me, in the first round of the playoffs. Excuse me, I am a little delirious, so sometimes my words are going to get messed up. But I told you I've been bedridden, so if I mess up anything, don't laugh at me.
It's called dedication. Mike Tagg's a man of the people. He's here. He's feeling real sick, and he's out here on the broadcast. But no, you know what? So that's the thing. You don't want to face a team like that. No different than the Bengals last year, and we've talked about it every week. But so who do we have? The Bucks, the Giants, and Washington, I believe, that are legitimately in the hunt right now.
Yeah, the Bucks and Carolina. One of them got to win a division. The other one won't make the playoffs, right? And then you got Dallas is pretty much locked into the wild card unless something crazy happens. And then Philly would be in the wild card. So you really got 2 spots. And you got the Giants, Washington, and then you got Seattle, and you've got Green Bay. And if Washington stumbles, Green Bay can jump them if they win out. Now, Green Bay's got to play Minnesota and Detroit. No pushovers.
No
pushovers because Detroit is fighting for a spot. They're in the hunt.
They are.
Too.
They lost to Carolina.
They blew their opportunity, and that was that was their gain. Vikings will be eliminated. Yep. And I think Jose, that is something the Vikings don't want. Oh, you think the Vikings will eliminate? Oh, I thought you were talking about. See, I got to get my eyes checked. I thought you were talking about the Packers making the playoffs to eliminate the Vikings. I would be very nervous to play the Packers. And the Vikings, the problem with the Vikings, their defense, right? I mean, their defense is not very scary. And the Packers are playing well. It's in Lambeau. I don't think it's a gimme for the Vikings to beat the Packers at all.
But first of all, I'm going to go on a little rant here about my NFC South. We're looking at 7 and 9 teams that are in the hunt. We lost 6 games by 1 score. I mean, if we just win 2, we are in the hunt. 3, we're in first place. That's what's pissing me off right now. But you know what? My consolation would be, and I mean this, is to help you guys out in the final game of the season, beating the Buccaneers and knocking their asses out. And I'd be a happy camper just to ruin Tom Brady's day.
I wouldn't mind, and hope Jose's right with the Panthers beating the Bucks. I bought my tickets. I bought tickets for the Bucks playoff game, anticipating that Dallas would be the wild card and more than likely play. So I have my tickets set for the game if we end up playing in Tampa. So we'll see how that works. But it's gonna get crazy. I mean, Washington, they're reeling a little bit, right? Quarterback
Anarchy,
Anarchy. He got benched. They got Wentz went in there. They don't know what they're going to do with that. The Giants were in a good spot. They lose. They just got to win 1 game. But they're going to play Philly, right? The interesting part is they're going to play Philly the last game of the year. Philly could potentially, as long as they beat New Orleans, have nothing to play for. Then they're really not going to play anyone. The Giants could steal that game and go ahead and earn their playoff berth. Washington is going to be playing us the last game of the season. If Philly were to clinch, you got to think Dallas is going to I don't think McCarthy will use it as a bye week, but I think whoever's nicked up is probably not going to play.
And it's
So
strange that tie with Washington and the Giants. That those ties really screw things up a lot when you think about it.
yeah,
They throw them, kind of like a monkey wrench into things.
yeah. Jimmy needs to prepare for the draft just like I did in 2020.
Yeah. Well, need Kyle Pitts back, man.
Yeah,
Hey,
well,
well,
we'll see what happens. But one other thing, because Jim Stradamus, the man, I wish we got to mark the tape of when he called it about the Denver Broncos. There was a lot of hype with the Broncos, a lot of this, a lot of that, playoff talk. Wilson was a missing piece. Lose again, got absolutely
ooh.
annihilated and embarrassed by the Rams. So bad that they fired their coach. Didn't even get a chance to finish one season, and he's gone. Uh, what do you got to say about that?
Yeah,
You called it.
well, first of all, it was supposed to be an exhibition, not 51-14 or whatever it was. But you know what? I actually legitimately felt badly for Russell Wilson watching that
Yeah,
game. He looked defeated. I honestly felt badly for him. I mean, again, I don't revel in the fact that he's not playing well and all that, but I was right. So
yeah.
people got to give me my dues. But I legitimately felt badly for him. And where do they go from there? What do they? There's nothing they can dramatically do to change things in the next season. I don't know what their
No,
salary
I don't
cap is
know.
like.
They're talking, and what's up, Will? Appreciate you jumping in. Hey, as long as you're here, you can be late. As long as you get on,
Well,
rewind it and check out the other. Will is interesting because he messaged me. He plays a lot of Uncle Cheech's picks, so we're gonna. I don't think he fared too well. We'll find out what Uncle Cheech thinks, in a little bit. But yeah. So anyway, to your point, I didn't mean to cut you
no,
off.
no, that's fine. But yeah, so that's kind of my thought. I don't see what they're going to do to improve next year, and you hate to see a guy go out like that. On
Yeah,
the other hand, I'd love to see, and Brady's the GOAT. I'm not, getting, being an a-hole about it, but I love to see him go out like that, not going to the playoffs and, losing in the second or final week of the season, preferably to us, the final week of the season. That's what I would like.
yeah, and I meant to say, and again, my mind's a little hazy. There's a lot of talk with Dan Quinn. He was a finalist for that job. They're thinking that Dan Quinn might be the coach there, but you know, the way our
Yeah.
defense has been playing, I don't know if he's such a hot commodity right now, but
Right.
we've been hampered with a lot of injuries. So I'm not gonna. I still believe in Quinn. I think he's gonna get everything right, get everything ready for us. And I love the media. The media very selective how they do
Yeah.
things. So, they talked about the Cowboys. Oh, the Cowboys, back up. They didn't say that last time. And then they said,
Yeah.
well, the Dallas defense in trouble. Philly, with their backup, put 34 points on them. Well, did they really, or didn't they get 7 points on their defense? Technically, if you want to be technical,
Yes.
they got 27 points. So just about what they got, I believe, in the first game. So whatever. I just wanted to get that off my chest. But I think the defense will get better. Like I said, we're hurting in our secondary. They had Wright in there at cornerback. He played pretty solid. He gave up a few things. I mean, but we're not going to be perfect.
Yeah.
Right now we're at our fourth, fifth, and sixth cornerbacks outside of Diggs. But Deron Bland, another pick, 5 interceptions, rookie, 5th-round pick. You couldn't ask for anything better when you land
No.
those gems. Hopefully, I don't know if he'll get true consideration, but hopefully he's getting some consideration for defensive rookie of the year. I know there's some other guys played longer all year that are probably gonna jump ahead of him, but I definitely think it was he's been a savior for this defense because our secondary, really our cornerbacks, decimated with injuries with Anthony Brown and J. Lou being out for the year.
And you know what? I want to take a step back. We were talking about the other NFC teams. I was really high on Geno Smith in Seattle. And that was just a great story with him playing so well. I think they're done. The 49ers, in my opinion, right now are the team to be scared of. Brock Purdy is playing flawlessly. I don't even Debo didn't even play this weekend, did he? That I recall. So imagine
No,
when he
he's
comes
out.
back.
He's out for he had a high ankle. I don't think he's gonna be. He may
He'll be
not play
ready.
in the playoffs or maybe in a couple more
I thought he was
weeks.
coming back for the playoffs. But even if he does, I
I
mean,
think
they
he'll
are
be back for
playing
the
great.
playoffs, but high ankle sprain, you know how that is, Jimmy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I know. So, so that's kind of my thought with I don't think anybody can overlook them right now.
Oh no,
No,
San
no,
Francisco's physical. The only thing, if you're going to look at them, I mean, of course, there's always diamonds in the rough. There's all every 20 years you're going to get a Tom Brady type probably not him, but you're going to get a good quarterback in the 6th round or something like that. He was a last player taken. And I
Yeah.
remember him in college. He wasn't a standout by any stretch as far as being a just unbelievable quarterback that you saw. System is playing well for him.
Sure.
But if he gets some pressure, and how does he going to respond to that pressure? You just don't know. He's looked really good. The Niners have a great defense. They're a physical team. I know you're not crazy about the coach because he cost you a Super Bowl championship, but I mean, a very good coach. So that's going to be
him.
they're an interesting play. Minnesota to me is the one. If you got one of those teams, because you're right, Dallas is going to be on the road, pretty much the way. If all the seeding works itself out, higher seed wins. Dallas would have to play on the road every time in the playoffs. I think Minnesota's a vulnerable one that could lose in the first round.
Yeah, I mean Minnesota, you never know what you're going to get each week. I mean, they come back in Buffalo and under unbelievable odds come back and beat them on the road. I don't know, you just don't know what you're going to get each week. Yeah, they're a strong team. Definitely wouldn't want to go on the road to play them, but
Yeah.
I think you guys will be fine against them.
Yeah. No, we'll see. We'll see. It looks like, I know some people said the championship game if you played Philly, but it's really going to be if the seeding works itself out where Minnesota and San Francisco win, then we're playing Philly in the divisional round. So we won't see him in the championship game unless one of those other teams below win, and then Philly obviously would play the lowest seed. But if everything worked out, we would be. So no, it's wild. And then you got the AFC. Obviously, we talked about the Dolphins, how things have changed, right?
Man.
8-3, probably one of the top, looked at to be the top team in the AFC, if not NFL. They've gone just kind of spiraling, circle and drain. Quarterback concussion again.
Yeah,
that's going to be, that's a career thing you got to really think about for Tua.
It's sad.
Yeah, no, you don't
sad.
like to see it, but the Bills are there, the Chiefs. So Chargers look good, last night. So it's going to be interesting to see how the AFC. They're definitely AFC seems to be the stronger conference of the two right now.
You know what? I tell you, watching Miami, I watched. I was with family. They're all Dolphins fans. They were watching that game. Tua was throwing basically routes to the Green Bay defensive backs. It looked like they were perfect routes to their DBs, and he looked terrible. He had that stretch earlier after the concussion when he didn't know what planet he was on, where he didn't play a few games and he came back. He actually played a few good weeks in a row. In the last several weeks, he's been terrible, and you feel for the guy. And like you said, with the concussions and the CTE and all this, he might be done. And I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I said earlier in the season, I didn't really believe in him. I thought he'd be out by the 5th game. Unfortunately, he was out for the wrong reason. He was out by the 5th game. But I don't know, man. I just hopefully things, from a health standpoint, turn around for him, because you don't want to see that. That's
no. I mean, even with any players, but Hurts. I don't want to see Hurts not play. I want to see all of them play.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because Miami. I grew up in Miami. You grew up in Miami. I mean, the Dolphins are, they're Miami, right? I mean, of all the the basketball, the Marlins, the Heat, and all that, it is Dolphin Town, and they have not won a Super Bowl. People crack on Dallas, so let's slow it down. Especially people in Miami giving me crap. They don't won a Super Bowl. I could say something graphic, but I won't. But it's been a long time. I wasn't even on this planet yet. But I would love it. I obviously have family and friends who are Dolphin fans, so it would be nice. I was really hoping that they were going to really make that surge and possibly make a run in the playoffs and a chance to get the Super Bowl. But it just does not look like it's going to happen. If 2 is out, can Bridgewater? I mean, he really just has to win one game. So but they play New England, and I believe they have the Jets. But I think the Jets might be at home. I think the Jets are home. The Jets are kind of struggling too. So, I mean, they probably could sneak one of those games to get in the playoffs. But what are they going to do in the playoffs? I mean, they play probably Cincinnati. Cincinnati's rolling right now. So, one and done probably.
It's funny. I was talking to a Bills fan, a really, really good friend of mine, and it was interesting. He's an optimist by nature, but he does not believe in the Bills defense. And he thinks that Josh Allen has been off his game since he hurt that elbow back in the Jets. So this is a diehard Bills fan telling me he doesn't see them, getting past the first round. I was kind of surprised.
Well, they're the number 1 seed, I think.
They would get right. They should get a bye.
They'll play the second game, which they probably end up playing Cincinnati or they could play Kansas City. Yeah, I mean, I could see them not winning a game. I think Cincinnati right now is better than them, even though the record doesn't say it. And I think that, I mean, Mahomes, I think Kansas City is the Bills. I mean, to his point, they have not looked the best.
No.
I mean, that game against Miami, that was in Buffalo. I mean, those are the times when it's snowing and this and that. There was no way that a Miami team would go up there and hang. They usually get blown out. Miami gave that game away, really.
Yeah, they did.
In my opinion. So, to your point, is Buffalo is not peaking at the right time. Where you look at Cincinnati doing what they did last year. They're just kind of surging up, and then Kansas City, you lose, Hill, Mahomes continues to lose, weapons, and he still produces. So it's going to be, Buffalo's got their work cut out for sure.
Yeah, they do. And I did want to address one other thing about what about Mr. Handjob himself? He's been playing great, hasn't he? What do you think about Deshaun Watson? Pardon my French.
Yeah, it ain't been nothing, man. I haven't done anything, right? I mean, that's
all that
$250 guaranteed, man.
He's laughing all the way to the bank.
Oh, absolutely.
What a bunch of dummies.
No, and you don't know what they're going to get. So, but let's go ahead and jump to it, Jimmy. Let's see what Uncle Cheech is up to.
Yeah,
I'll be honest. I don't know how much longer I can go. I'm sweating now.
Yeah, I feel badly. Oh,
it's all right. It's all right.
Take some Advil, man.
I took a couple of leave. We'll get Uncle Cheech on here and see what he's up to because I got to go back into the chat. Jimmy, you weren't on because you were off, but I got a special request about Uncle Cheech needs some entrance video. So I'm going to try and work on it. Maybe while I'm up in the cabin trying to recuperate. Maybe I'll try and work on something to see if I can get Uncle Cheech a thing. What's happening, Uncle Cheech?
How you doing, guys?
Good. I wanted to play. We did get one comment. I wanted to pop it on there because my man Will said you killed him this week. Uncle Cheech, I mean, you can't be sending our listeners and our viewers to the poorhouse.
Is he playing one game or is he playing all four?
I don't know. He said he
told
played none because he lost.
You play one game. I can't make it not one at a time. One game. Not one at a time. One game.
Well, so how do they know what game to pick?
Pardon me?
How do they know what game to pick?
The lock.
You play the lock.
He said he played one game, and it was a game he lost.
Well, I lost too if he took my lock.
And he did no parlays.
Hey, I can't help it. Two gets hurt. What are you going to do?
I always say you got to look at the full season, the full body of work. And if you look at the full body of work, and you won, and you reinvested, then you should be ahead.
75% of my lock.
All right.
That's all.
I just want to say congratulations to Ed Reed, former Hurricane.
I wanted to let you
named the head coach of Bethune-Cookman. He's trying to follow in Prime's footsteps there.
No, I wanted to save that for you because I know you're a beloved Hurricane donor, alum, longtime season ticket holder. So I know I wanted to allow you to break that news, but I think it's a great thing. I mean, obviously he was part of the Hurricane family. He was there. I think it's a great thing for college football. And I think he's going to do some good things at Bethune-Cookman. So I wish him the best.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
So as long as their business don't conflict with ours.
That's
right. Uncle Cheech, getting back to the Dolphins game, I mean, that turned into a neutral site because it was like winter weather down there. There was no climate issues for the away team to do.
He got his bell rung because in the first half, it was like the one game before, a couple games ago. Looked like a different quarterback when he got hurt the last time coming out in the second half, thrown to the other team.
Yeah.
The three picks, I mean, when we were around the ball.
No.
Well, and you wonder if the coaches
200 yards in the first half with 6 passes, something like along that line.
And you got to wonder if the coaches or someone should have seen some, because like, Jimmy was talking about the passes in the second half. It was like he was throwing the other team's routes or something.
They better really look for another quarterback, because physically, I don't know how long he's going to be around. I mean, if this continues, physically, I don't know how long he can be around. So if he's susceptible to these concussions for his own personal health.
Yeah.
Sure.
No, you never want to see that. Yeah.
No, he keeps this up, he's going to end up like a vegetable, and you don't want that.
No.
But anyhow, let's just get down to it here. I'm going to take the Jets at Seattle.
Jets at Seattle.
+2. They're traveling across country. Seattle +2.
You're taking Seattle +2.
+2.
The Jets have changed their quarterback again. They're back to Mike White.
Yeah.
Right?
This could be an iffy game, but
yeah.
Mike White. Cowboys alum, right?
I like that pick. Seattle's playing. They're both playing for a lot, but I think when you're doing the quarterback carousel, and to your point, you're traveling cross country, I think the West Coast team usually has an advantage. So I think that's an excellent pick by you.
Well, what is that? Anyway, my next pick, Miami at New England. I'm going to take New England giving 2.5. I think Miami's done.
I think it's over.
I think it's done. They lose the next 2 games.
Damn.
Ah.
No faith.
No.
Man, Uncle Cheech, you're getting called out again. What's up?
Called out. We got another comment. What was up with your picks this past week, Uncle Cheech?
Hey, I was 2-2. Well, actually, 1-3. 2 of 5 if you count the Monday night game.
Fuzzy man.
I'm going to go along with.
You're allowed to have a bad week. You're allowed to have a bad week.
This is gambling. I'm going to go along with Jose on this one. My upset of the week: Carolina +3 at Tampa Bay.
Wow!
I think Carolina beats them outright. They played real good last week. Tampa Bay, they look, they only score 14 points, 16 points, 17 points. They don't look that good.
Well, one of our Tampa Bay insiders, your boy lives in Tampa, has said there's been a lot of issues, I guess, bubbling up, and some of it has to do with Tom Brady and Mike Evans. So stay tuned with that. It sounds like there's a little bit of
I'll take Carolina all the more then.
Wait a minute. Hey, first of all, it's Uncle Cheech. Get it straight. It's Uncle Cheech. Call him by his respectful name.
My lock of the week.
Lock of the week.
San Francisco -6 at Las Vegas.
Wow. All right.
See, you guys talk about San Francisco.
What do you think?
San Francisco, I don't care who the quarterback is, they run the ball effectively. McCaffrey looked like Jim Brown back there. That's how far back I go. They run the ball effectively, play good defense. The quarterback, I don't care who it is, he doesn't turn the ball over. That's the formula for victory. I'm telling you, watch that team real close. Don't worry about Minnesota, this one, that one. You better worry about 49ers.
Yeah.
That's the team to watch.
And I also, that's a good pick. And I know a couple of people are riding Uncle Cheech on his picks. Just for the record, because people know I do not allow Uncle Cheech, because he's been known to be a jinx, picking Cowboys games, because he cost us that Green Bay game. So after that, I would not let him pick another game. He sent me a text message prior to the Cowboys game. He said, I know you told me, I just want to let you know I would have picked that. I picked Dallas. I laid money on Dallas. Dallas is going to win the game. You could put it like Jimmy Johnson said in 3-inch bold letters in the newspaper. So, I couldn't give him credit for that because it wasn't on the show, but he did call it. I just want to give you that. Just help your record a little bit.
Well, I'm not ashamed of my record. I'm doing pretty well.
No.
You're doing great. You made me a lot of money, and I'm very happy.
Like I told you at the beginning of the year, if you're 50, 55%, Against the spread, you're doing good.
Yeah.
You
No,
know,
it's true.
My locks have been
Locks
for the
have been
last 2
solid.
weeks. My locks have been solid all year.
Yep. So what I
Now-
One guy that's bitching, you tell him he's probably playing 3 of the 4 games. You're not going to win. You might as well play parlays. You play one game, not 2.
then you reinvest.
yes.
One,
Dollar
you
cost
could-
averaging.
If you want to double it up the following week, you'll catch your.
Hey,
That's
so-
how you play. That's how you make the money. Don't keep putting betting all these games. You're
So-
gonna lose.
you
So
tell
what
him.
do you we'll get Uncle Cheech's though. What are you thinking of? I saw something come through. I didn't hear much about it, but Aaron Rodgers' name is floating around in Miami.
That's what I heard from my source.
You think there's some legitimacy to that?
Could be a good spot for him in his
They got the offensive weapons.
last few years.
Yeah.
Absolutely, they got
Yeah.
the weapons.
How many years does Rodgers have left
He
in?
he hasn't been banged around much throughout his career. I know he's 39 years old, but he still got a cannon.
No,
hasn't
I mean,
really-
quarterbacks
hasn't really
can play
been
for-
hurt.
Yeah.
Hasn't been hurt.
They can play for a while in this game today. They
Yeah.
don't touch.
Oh yeah, he
it's
can't
like-
even touch anybody. I was watching that the other day.
Quarterbacks are flag football.
But
You know.
it'd be a good move if they could pull it off.
That'd be
But
interesting.
I heard it through the grapevine myself. I know a lot of people down there.
Yeah.
A lot of people
course.
fighting with the Dolphins.
You
That would put fear in everybody next year.
you got any other picks?
Nope. I meant to give you my picks for the college playoff games, and I will.
Oh.
I'll
Yeah.
give it to you because Friday, I think Friday.
No, give us some picks, and we need to. I mean, we're not going to be able to talk to you before then. What do you got for the big college?
Georgia will destroy Ohio State,
Okay,
and I think Michigan will beat TCU.
so you're looking at a Michigan Georgia championship game, and you think that both of them are heavy favorites, so they're both going to cover. That's the question.
I think Georgia will.
Georgia will cover. Michigan may not.
But
No.
if I had to bet on both of them, I'd probably give up the points in college. I
Easier.
think Michigan. I really like TCU's quarterback. He showed a lot of heart. I never saw a kid play with so much
No,
heart.
I was at the game. It was impressive.
In the game they lost to, coming off the field, gasping for air, kept pushing and pushing, trying to get that win. But I think Michigan will be a little too much for him.
No. And Jimmy had given me some inside information. I don't know how I didn't know about it, but I heard might be a cameo, a special cameo spot for you on the Tulsa King.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say I might have been contacted a little bit.
Well, don't get too big where you're not gonna
you
stay
gotta-
on this show.
Now, what I need to know is, what does Uncle Cheech do on New Year's weekend? You don't have to give where your location is, but what are you going to be doing?
New Year's weekend, I stay home.
Really? No hot tubs,
When
no
I was-
champagne.
When I was younger, I used to be out on the town, rocking and rolling and whatnot. But I'm 72 years old or 71 years old now. So.
See, you got to have all the girls come over.
At least
So
you
that-
had a
I
Friday.
didn't say that wasn't going to happen. Got a bottle of wine, a little champagne. We go to the hot tub, make it a little bubbly. You know what I'm talking about?
I feel you.
Down to here.
Well, cool. Well, we want to thank you. We're going to have the play. We got one more week, and then of course, then we're going to get in the playoffs, and we're going to get your picks. I talked to Uncle Cheech privately. What I'm going to do with the Cowboys, he's not allowed to pick the Cowboys, but he's gonna put his pick in a sealed envelope. And the following week, we're gonna allow him to open the envelope to see if he was right or wrong. But he is not allowed to divulge any information, not on this channel, not on the South Florida broadcast that he's on, any of these other, podcasts and satellite radio shows he does where they're asking for his expertise. He cannot mention the word Dallas in any of them.
And especially on the set of a certain.
I'm going to write it down right here, and I'm going to seal it in front of everybody and put a little mark on it so you know we're not cheating.
No, we don't cheat.
No.
And then Then we'll open it up after the game.
We'll see how it goes. So
Look forward to it.
It's got to be a lot of fun. I mean,
Now-
every team is. You got a lot of teams still alive here. You got a shot. So
it's going to be a fun. It's
a lot
going to
of
be a
games
fun
are
play.
important.
That's what parity does. They want a parity, they got it.
Well,
They got it. Add an extra team too makes it interesting.
Yeah.
So, anyway, Uncle Cheech, I appreciate it. Have a happy New Year. We'll see you.
Don't
We
drink
will
too
see
much.
you next week.
Don't have
Buona.
don't have any George Dick.
I might need a shot to help my cough. I don't know.
Yeah,
You're
you
gonna
gotta get
Have a happy New Year. You got to be
All right,
careful.
I have to find some wild parsley.
Buonanno. Buonanno, Uncle Cheech.
Stay off the road.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll
Have
see
a
you.
safe-
Take care.
Safe New Year.
All right.
We'll talk to you.
All right.
Ciao. Grazie.
Oh man.
Man, that's a great idea. I love the seal in the envelope and
Well, he was pretty sore about it because he wants to pick it's one of the games he wanted to pick. But people know me. I'm very, very superstitious when it comes to the Cowboys, and my Emmett Smith jersey, my throwback. We have not lost in when I wear that on game day. Very important. I say that on game day, that jersey has been undefeated. So I didn't wear it to the Jacksonville game. Usually I wear the jersey to the streak, but it's such a nice jersey. I didn't know how the Jacksonville Stadium was, and the last thing I wanted to get something spilled on or dirty or anything like that. So I didn't wear it, but I wore it to AT&T last week, and I wore it to the would have been the Colts game, I believe. So we're 2-0 in it. I'm going to bring it Thursday when I'm heading up to the mountains. I'm going to bring that with me, and I'll wear it on Thursday.
And now wearing it to the Jacksonville game, you made an amateur mistake by doing that.
I know.
Come on.
I know.
I'm not superstitious. Maybe I should be. Especially after this season, maybe I should be superstitious after what the hell happened to my team. So you got Tennessee this week?
We got Tennessee.
Yeah.
They don't have their quarterback.
No,
they don't have their quarterback. We'll see. They've been on a big losing streak, and I'll say this: that Jacksonville team that people laugh at. I told people be careful of them. They win again. They're in the driver's seat to win that division now.
It's crazy when you think about
it. And I tell you, I know you don't like Trevor Lawrence, but I mean the guy, he's a great quarterback. And they were talking about the funny thing was with the Jets. I don't know if you remember, the Jets had no wins. I think they had no wins, and they ended up winning the last 2 games of the year. Whatever it was, they won the last 2 games of the year, and that got them out of the number 1. They were pretty much locked in for the number 1 pick. So instead of getting Trevor Lawrence, they get that kid Zach Wilson, who's been a disaster in New York. And boy, it's great. And then I didn't even realize it, but the Dolphins took Tua ahead of Herbert, Justin Herbert in Los Angeles. So I love the draft, but I don't have the memory of the draft. I forget a lot of it after it goes. But I mean, you talk about just a change, in that pick here and there, just amazing. But it is fun.
Horse face, I'll give him his due. I'm not a big fan, but he's playing great. They stomped the Jets the other day, and obviously the week before, bad things happened. And no, he's playing well, and you got to give the devil his due. So you know what? I ain't gonna hate on the guy.
No,
whatever, But you talk about little things that change things. Remember, Brett Favre was on our roster.
Yeah,
Jerry Glanville lost his job because he didn't want to get rid of Brett Favre. Management gave him the boot.
He was was he partying a little? There was something, right? When he get a little bit of...
he was partying. He was showing up to practice late. He was showing the effects of hangovers in practice, and he admits he was immature. But you know what? Jerry Glanville saw something in him and said, "Man, I don't want to deal this guy."
Yeah.
And what happens? They deal him. Management said, "Oh, we're gonna have Chris Miller." Chris Miller goes down, and he wasn't bad, but obviously he was no Brett Favre.
No.
And that's all she wrote.
Yeah, no, it's crazy how just those little things change up. So, anything else you want to cover, Jimmy D?
No, I think I want to ask Jose. What do you think, Jose? Because I wasn't on last week. I had some some family business to tend to. Captain Aaron Judge. Jose, what do you think? If you're still on board.
And we'll see
I
if
want to
he's
know what you
on.
think.
Well, while you're talking, I don't think I posted, and I don't think I told you, but I went to the Dallas Stars game on Friday night.
I saw that nice win
Yeah.
over Montreal. You saw
Yeah.
a good game. They were
Yeah.
down early.
Yeah.
Very proud of you.
Yes, and you know, we just had such a good time when we went, and it was so cold in Dallas. That was the other thing. It's so cold in Dallas. The thing I love, and I don't know if you know, I give credit to some of these people on on social media that study very meticulously your videos. Like I do those hype videos.
Yeah.
And I never noticed some of the things, but the one I did in front of the stadium, it was like 11 degrees. It was freezing in windshield. And the Philly fans they broke down it good. And I can make fun of myself too. I don't ever think I'm so they were making fun of me how I was moving backwards, how I was walking back, and the way that I was doing it, in the manner that I was doing it. You got to, if you ever get bored, you read the comments of the haters. It's actually pretty funny because I didn't notice it, but I was falling back. But the problem was the wind was just ripping through my body, and it just kept moving. I'm a Florida guy. It was so cold, and it was just so fun. I don't know if Jose's still on, but
yes,
yeah, there's
it.
definitely some love for him. And the Stars game, was fun. It was a it was a lot of fun. But yeah, and but the comments. The other thing is hurt my feelings, Jimmy, because I'm I thought I'm trying to lose a little weight. I thought I was getting, and some guy called me fat, and I looked at it, so when I got home, I said, this is bull. This is bull. I got to weigh the same. I went on the scale. Now I've been 200 pounds to 202. 198 to 202 for the last, my kid's 18. So for the last 18 years, I've been the same weight. And damn it, I got on that scale. I was 212. So I commend the haters because they called me fat. I thought they were crazy. My wife didn't say I looked fat, but I said, let me get on that scale. I'm going to prove these guys wrong. I'm going to take a picture and I'm going to show them what the weight is. It's still the same as it was 20 years ago. And sure enough, I've gained 10 pounds. So I'm on a strict diet starting after the New Year's, of
course.
But I'm going to get this weight down, and I appreciate the haters because you motivated me.
Well, you've always been a fit, trim, 18 stone, 2 pounds, Mike Tag. But you know what? First of all, Philadelphia fans can't talk. Philadelphia fans, the downwind they're getting is the stench of garbage, sewer, filth, and every disgusting crap that's encircles and encapsulates the city of Philadelphia, so they can shut up. And secondly, it's funny that you had to go inside a hockey game to escape the cold. But
I know.
I mean, that arena in Dallas is beautiful. I loved it.
It was great.
Yeah, man.
It was great.
And a good venue for hockey. I want to go see the Mavericks there too.
And I tell you, I know some friends gave us crap, for where we sat. And I'll be honest, I sat in almost the same exact seats, just maybe in the corner and I got them for $31 the day of the game. I thought I think I'd rather be higher. I know, hey, we're higher. Everyone loves to be down low, but I thought the seats were fine. The kids never been to a hockey game; they loved it. So it was a lot of fun. We had a great time.
Hey, yeah, you know what? We would have had better seats if it wasn't for one of our cheapskate friends, the Bears fan, didn't want to kick in a few extra bucks to go down lower.
I thought they're great. I parked right across the street from the stadium in a parking garage.
Yeah,
for $35. And we got in and out of there with no issues. And I'm just saying is you'll sit for 2 hours at the AT&T. We ended up going to Texas Live, hung out there for an hour and a half, and then walked back over to our car because it was just crazy. But I'm just saying that stadium, that arena, very well done. All the avenues to get in and out, very well done. I mean, big thumbs up to Dallas for that arena. It's really nice.
When we were down there for the Rangers and Dallas game, I think I drank every bit of red wine they had in that place. I think I emptied them out. But yeah, no, it's a beautiful place. And I see some DMC, big Yankees, hashtag Rep Bronx, baby. Hashtag Yankees. I love it.
Yeah. Well, we're going to get to some, we'll be getting that, sooner or later, we're going to be getting into some won't be all football. We're going to have to get into some other stuff. And Jimmy's going to have to educate your boy here because I used to be a huge baseball fan. I've kind of lost interest over the years, but I'm gonna have to brush up on it and basketball and all that other fun stuff.
Hey, you know what? While my Falcons are out, hey, look, my Knicks have won 8 of 11. The Rangers won 4 of 5. Hey, I'm a happy camper with my other teams right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, it's looking
so,
good. It's looking
yeah.
good. So, well, we'll get rolling. Jimmy D, I appreciate you coming on. You've had a lot of travel issues, getting caught up, and you're going out again. Obviously, we beat a dead horse. I've been sick as a dog. I'm questionable for the hype video tomorrow. I'm questionable, but I'm hopefully going to rest up and hopefully be able to deliver a performance. But if I can't deliver an A performance, then I just don't like to. I just probably won't do it. But hopefully, I'll be better. But we'll have fun.
No, you know what? Like I said, you say your prayers, take your vitamins. I know you're going to show up for Cowboys Nation. I don't doubt that at all.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, brother. You guys have a great, safe, healthy New Year. Be smart. If you're drinking, take an Uber.
Yeah.
Nothing is worth that. If you do, take the words of Uncle Cheech. Just stay home. Right? Have fun at home. Enjoy yourself. There'll be some football and some other things to check out. So you guys have a great New Year's weekend, and we'll be back on Monday at our usual time. I'll see you. Take care.